Okay.
Oh yeah, yes.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yes, okay. You're welcome. So in the long run, hopefully that the long run average cost, okay, it will show, yeah. So I think I have admit everyone. It will show the least costly combination. Okay, for the long run, least costly. It's the least costly because they have already the plan, okay, on how to do the, let's say, about the supply, the distribution. So as they have the plan already, then of course they will plan for the most efficient way to do the production and without sacrificing profit. So the profit is still there, they can still enjoy the profit, but the cost, they will make it as low as possible. Okay. And we have as well the discussion about economies of scale and this economies of scale. Okay. Economies of scale. Okay, so we usually encounter this term, like economies of scale. Okay. And here, how about this one? Economies of scale. So the benefits, so we get the benefits. The point here is the benefits. Yeah, of course, people would like to have benefits, okay, for everything that they do. Okay, they will weigh the cost and the benefit, like the one that you have explained, the cost and benefit analysis. So benefits that can be gained, the benefits that can be gained from the falling long run average cost. Falling long run average cost for economies of scale. Okay. There are the benefits, and we can see here the long run average cost. The scale of output increases in the long run. Okay, output increases. So these are the key points for economies of scale. The firms will get more benefits because it is a long run. We are talking about something that is in long run, so they have more time. Okay, they have more time to prepare. Okay, for the preparation, they will be better, and also the cost, they will make it as efficient as possible. Okay. And output, yes, increase in output because they want to make it big, like if possible they will expand their business. So these are for economies of scale. We have one more concept, that is this economies of scale. Previously economies of scale, now this economies of scale. The points that we would like to discuss for these economies of scale. So here the long run average cost increased previously. The ideal one, the one that we expect it to be, is to decrease. The cost should decrease, especially it is long run. We have a better plan already. Now for this one, okay, the long run average cost. Long run average cost increase for this economies of scale. So this one is not an ideal situation, not a situation that is expected by the business people. Okay, the scale of output, yes, increases. The output increases. Output increases. Okay, but here the cost also increase. Okay. So let us take a look at the graph here, the cost in the short run and also in the long run. So this one, cost in the short run. Okay, I will make this bigger, so I'm going to, yeah. Okay. Cost in the short run. in the short run, we can see that there is the cost and the output. Okay. And we can see the average total cost. And also there is an increasing returns of fixed costs used more efficiently. The fixed costs, because they know already if they produce, let's say 1 unit only, and when they produce 100 units, the fixed cost is the same. So it will be more efficient. Fixed cost factors, the fixed factors are allocated and used more efficiently. Okay. For the optimum output is here at this point. Okay, where the cost is at this point and it meets the output, the quantity of the output. Okay, with this cost, okay, average total cost. This for the short run, there is the diminishing returns reflected in rising unit cost. So as the unit of the products that are produced, there will be increase in the cost. So they might consider whether they would like to increase their production or not in the short run. Because when they increase their production, the cost increases as well, as it is shown by this curve, diminishing return in the rising unit cost. As the unit of the production or the products increase, the number of the products that are produced increase, more products increase, then we can see that there is increase as well in the cost. This one is for the short run because they have not adjusted yet. While for the long run, they know already how it works and they can adjust better. So the diminishing returns for short run, it might happen as the unit of the products that are produced increase, okay, but then the cost also increase as we can see here. So the optimum output will be at this point. If they produce more of the products, yes, okay, the quantity increase, right? But the cost also increase. So there is the diminishing returns. Okay, it is reflected in the rising unit cost. Okay, that's for the short run. Okay, this one is for the short run. And it will be different. The shape will be different from the long run. Okay, because in the long run, as we have discussed before, they can plan better rather than short run. For this one, okay, do you have any question for this short run first? So they will enjoy smaller profits, smaller benefits, right? As the diminishing returns shows here, the cost increases. The cost increases, so the profits that they enjoy will be smaller. Okay, because there are more energy, okay, that they will invest in it to produce more products. But in the long run, they have adjusted already. Now, okay, increasing returns, fixed factors use more efficiently than for the fixed factors. Yes, they will always hope to use it at the most efficient point. Okay, because like the electricity bill or water and then the wages, the salary, it will just be the same. Okay, even though
Yes, can you explain the graphs?
Yes, this one, the graph.
Yeah, the graph.
Yes, for the short run. Okay, so for the short run here, we can see this point is the optimum output. For the optimum output is at this cost. Okay, the cost is at this level and the quantity that they produce is at this quantity. The output and the cost they meet here. So this will be the optimum or the most efficient output that the firm can produce for the short run. Okay, this one is for the short run because it will be different for the long run. Okay, as we know that there is the marginal cost. Okay, marginal cost, it means when the firm would like to add the number of products. Let's say previously they produce 100 items, okay, but then they would like to produce 110. So they need to make sure that this 10 units, the addition, okay, how about the marginal cost? Will it be much more expensive? For example, they need to add one more worker. Okay. For example, one worker can produce 100 units, but the firm would like to produce, they think the resources, they have it already, so they can produce 110 units. So if they hire 2 workers to produce 110 units, then it will not be efficient because they need to pay the wages of 2 workers, but the unit that is the marginal cost is very high to pay one more workers because the quantity that is increased only 10. Okay, while with one worker, they can produce, this worker can produce 100 units. The firms think that, oh, they can produce 110 because they have the raw materials. But if they hire one more worker so that these 2 workers can produce total of 110 units, then the marginal cost will be high. So in the short run, they might need to adjust, okay, and they cannot achieve the most efficient point yet. Unlike in the long run, then they can adjust already, let's say the raw materials that they want to process to become output. Then in the long run, they can plan better rather than short run. Because in the short run, as we can see here, the cost increase, average total cost, the marginal cost increase. So the one that we see, okay, we just take a look at the average total cost because it is just the same going upward. There is the diminishing return reflected in rising unit cost. Okay, it will be more expensive for the firm if they want to produce additional, let's say 10%, that is 10 units of the products, previously 100 units. Now they would like to produce 110, but the cost, average total cost increases, and we call this as the diminishing returns. Okay, as we can see, it is reflected in the rising unit cost. It is more expensive. Okay, it is more expensive to have the firm to produce 10 more. Let's say they should hire 2 workers, not efficient, right? To produce 110, because this one is for the short run. For short run, they might not have adjusted for the raw materials. In the long run, then it will be more efficient because they have adjusted already. So this is what the graph shows. The output, that is the optimum one, will be, let's say, 100 units only for short run. For short run, just produce 100 units only, and from the data we know that 100 units will be the optimum output. It means that at this unit, at this cost, the company can have this profit. But if they add their output becomes 110, this additional 10 units, the marginal cost is increasing. So it is too costly to produce these 10 units additional. Is there any question with this cost in the short run? Maybe from others as well. Is there anything that you would like to ask for the short run that is shown right now on the screen? And nothing to ask, is it, for the cost in the short run? Is there anything?
I think no.
Oh, okay, thank you. Now, if short run is done, we will proceed to long run. For the long run, now the company can plan better because it is for a long run. So they can adjust already, let's say their raw materials. Okay. For long run, the cost can, screen sharing is paused. Let me go back first, stop share and share again. Like this. Yeah, I'm screen sharing. For the long run, okay, for the cost in the long run, we can see the cost decrease. Okay, these red lines decreases. They can already adjust. For example, okay, they can buy in bulk already. Since they can buy in bulk, so it means that they will get better profit, more profit that they can earn. People buying in bulk so that they can get cheaper price. Okay. So the cost will decrease in the long run because they know already, they learn from their experience how to make it the most efficient way of production. Okay, so this one is the output, and the cost decreases, output increases. Okay. So it is a good, it is efficient, and it will be an ideal condition because the cost can decrease. Okay. And the output increases. Okay, output is getting more and more, but the cost is decreasing. Now it is only at this point. Previously, it's quite high at this point. Okay. So from A to B, increasing returns to scale or economies of scale. Yes. So the return increase, okay, increasing returns to scale, or we can also say that this one is economies of scale. So more benefits that is gained, okay, from the falling long run average cost. The average cost now it is falling. Okay, the scale of output increases, as we can see from this graph. And
Yes, I want to ask something. What's the SATC and what's the MC?
Yes, the MC is the marginal cost. Okay, the marginal cost we can see from the previous one if we compare with the short run. Okay. SATC average total cost. Short run average total cost. Page 155. I will just type it here, 155. Because if we compare it with the short run, the MC marginal cost, the marginal cost, this one is increasing quite high. It is just almost a straight line, okay, in the short run. But then in the long run, okay, in the long run, it is increasing, but here the cost decreases because they can adjust it already. This short run, and short run. The one that we get from the short run, and short run. But in the long run, the cost is not as high as here. Okay. In the short run, they do not have the planning. They don't have enough planning, but in the long run, they know already how to plan it and how to make it a way of production possible. This one is the short run average total cost. SATC, short run average total cost. This short run, so short, and short, it makes long run. And in the long run, they can adjust it already to create the most efficient situation. So until this point, long run, okay, average cost, the long run one, minimum efficient scale. While if they increase again the output, the cost will increase. So it comes to these economies of scale. So this point is the most efficient one. Okay. The efficient one output is at this point and the cost is at its lowest. If it keeps on increasing, the cost will increase. Okay. So this is the point where it is the most efficient for the cost in the long run. Okay, I think. If they continue, to be
Hello?
the most efficient. Yes, yes. Can you hear me clear?
Yeah, I can hear you kindly.
Yeah, yes. Oh, okay. Is it because of the internet connection?
No, I think you glitched for a moment, then yeah, you were fine now. You're fine now, don't worry. I think it's better for you to turn off camera. If there's Wi-Fi problem. Hello?
The output is maximum and the cost is minimum lowest cost, and here the output is the highest. Well, if they continue, they will not be able to bear the cost anymore. There will be this economies of scale. Okay. So this is the differences between the long run and the short run. If it is in the long run, it is the combination of the short run, and in the end it will make it to become efficient. The most efficient point is at this point. Okay. If they continue to produce, okay, to produce more output, okay, the output is added, then the cost will increase. Yeah, so sometimes there will be the conditions like this. For example, maybe the packaging that they are using, they need to have, let's say, the container for the products that they are producing. Let's say at this point, it is the most efficient one. If they force themselves, okay, I have to produce more and more in the long run, maybe the packaging runs out of stock from the factory and they are forcing themselves to produce more and more the output. They need to find the packaging in other factory or imported packaging. So that's why the cost can increase, because let's say packaging, the example, why here it increases again. Let's say the packaging, for the packaging, it can run out of stock from the factory that we usually buy from. Okay. So if it is out of stock in the long run, okay, in the long run, so it means we can plan, we can buy the most quantity that the factory, the packaging factory can sell to us. Okay, we can buy the container for our product. But then if they are out of stock already, but we force, okay, the output should increase. The output cannot be at this point only, should increase again. So the cost will increase because the packaging, my example is the packaging is running out of stock. So they need to import, let's say, the packaging, which is not efficient anymore. The cost will increase. So that is one of the example from the business practitioner that I know. Okay, so at the time she said that packaging was a problem because from the factory that sells the packaging, they can run out of stock. So if they run out of stock, while the production is so many at the time now also. Okay, so she is selling skincare, like the serum for the face. They are selling skincare. The skincare is so many, the factory can produce so many skincare, but for the container, okay, she runs out of stock. Okay, so if it is long run, let's say, okay, for a serum like the skincare products, the longest run cannot be until 5 years because there is the expiry date. For example, 2 years because of the expiry dates. So it can last for 2 more years. So the longest run for skincare industry, we say that it is 2 years. We cannot make it longer than 2 years. There is the expiration date. 2 years is the longest one. The output that they can produce for 2 years is at this quantity. So the cost, she has calculated already from the packaging, and then if they have the manual books or just a piece of paper telling the instruction paper, and the other things that they need for that products, like the printing of that, they have planned it to become the most efficient in these 2 years, the longest for this industry. Make it longer again, not possible expiry date. But then if she would like to make the quantity more and more, asking the factory, you can produce more because people are demanding for this product, but then the cost will increase. Let's say there is no more container that she can buy. The container is out of stock. If she would like to buy from imported products, imported container, the cost increase. So there is the point as well, even though it is in the long run, the cost will reach a certain amount of output and it is the lowest cost possible that she can afford. Okay, this one is for the cost in the long run. For this one, is there any question? For long run, cost in the long run, is there any question that you would like to ask? Any question for this one? Long run. Short run, we have discussed already, previous one. Now it is long run. Perhaps, is there anything that you would like?
Miss, so
Yes,
for
yes.
the long run, it's like, so you have to put marginal, so that means marginal cost will be the one that's like the dotted lines, right?
Yeah, yes, short run. Yeah, the combination short run, short run, short run. We have 3. Yeah, this one. The MC marginal cost from the short run, this one. Yeah, and then short run, average total cost, this one, SATC. So here the combination of short run, short run, short run, it becomes long run. Let's say 1 year, 1 year, 1 year, and 3 years becomes the longest that it is possible for that industry. For example, skincare, there is the expiry dates. Like that. Okay, is there any question? Okay.
No, miss.
Yes, okay. So after this graph, we are going to proceed to the next one. Okay. That's okay. 10 more minutes. Okay, now this one is the next one, envelope curve. For the envelope curve, so we can see that if the short run is combined, short run, okay, short run, and the total, it will make the long run average cost envelope curve, long run average cost. So it is the combination from the short run, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's say here is 5 years. Okay, 5 years of time, it becomes long run. Okay, long run, and here it is said to be envelope curve or the flatter U shape. Okay, it is not very much as a letter U, which is very steep. So this one is a flatter, okay, quite flatter U shape. And we can see it from here. Okay, just like this one. So this one. Yeah, here if we make it longer again, it will make a flatter U shape. For the long run average cost envelope curve. Yeah, so even though it is good for us to plan for the long run, okay, for the long run, but then there is a point where it cannot be fulfilled, okay, because in producing one product, let's say from the one that I know, that is the skincare product, even though the skincare, that the content of the product is there, they can produce, but the container, okay, runs out of stock. So if they would like to produce more and more, but no container, yes, if they can buy from the imported products, imported container, but the cost will increase. Okay, like that. Okay, so for this one, for long run envelope curve, the long run one is derived from short run combination of the short run. Okay. So how about this one, the long run envelope curve? So we can get the illustration from here as well, the cost in the long run. It is like a U, but flatter U shape. So same like this one, the shape is just like U shape, but we call it the flatter U shape, like that. Okay. Now for this one, do you have any question? We have discussed these three graphs already. Okay. For the third one, okay, if you have no question, we can discuss about the economies of scale, and I will show again the PowerPoint. Okay. So for this one, if no, I will stop sharing the textbook because I will show the PowerPoint. Stop share, and I will share again. 6 minutes 26 seconds. Okay, so tomorrow we will have our class again. So yeah, so if you still have, and it is compulsory to have the YouTube video, even though there is the quiz already, because the quiz has used up 2 periods, so one for the quiz and one for the review. So I will just provide, okay, I will just provide the YouTube, and the link will be sent to you tomorrow because I will log in as well to Zoom. I will log into Zoom as usual to inform about the link, and it will also be posted in the learning material. Now I will share again the PowerPoint. Okay, this economies of scale we have learned already, and from our textbook, it is the discussion about economies of scale again. Okay, how about this one? Just continue from here. Economies of scale, average cost decrease. Okay, the firm increase the output increases, and then the average cost decreases. Okay, average cost decreases and output increases. So they can therefore only accrue to the firm in the long run. In the long run, because in the short run, they do not have enough time. And they don't have enough time to do such the planning. In the long run, they know already how to plan the raw materials. Okay. Because when the firms buy the raw materials in bulk, okay, in bulk for long run, because if it is bought for short run, they most probably do not buy at so much quantity, not buying in bulk. So to have the cost to be the most efficient or the lowest cost possible, one of the way is to buy as much raw material as possible, as long as it does not expire. So they buy the raw material in the largest quantity that they can buy, and largest quantity sold to them. So it is for long run. If it is only for short run, most probably too much. Okay, the raw material is too much or too many for short run only. So it will be suitable for long run, like that. So here, economies of scale will happen in the long run. And then internal economies of scale, okay, are the benefits, okay, that accrue to firm. Okay. The result of the decision to produce on a larger scale. Yes, okay, if they have the capital to buy the raw materials, or they can have the term of payment, okay, which they can pay later. So as long as they can get the raw material at the cheapest price, the supply of the raw materials at the cheapest price, then they can make the cost becomes as efficient as possible. Okay, so they occur because the firm's output is rising proportionally faster than the inputs. Yes. Okay, so they can produce the output, okay, more outputs that they can produce in the long run. Okay. And then here, if the increase in output is proportional to the increase in inputs, then the firm will get constant returns to scale. Okay. Constant. If it is constant, then it is horizontal straight line. If it is constant, okay. If the output increase in output is proportional to the increase in the input. Okay. So so I think I need to type as well here. It can happen in the long run for economies of scale. Okay, so the points will be, it can happen in the long run. Okay, and if the increase of output is proportional to the increase of input, if output increase equals to input increase, so input and output are the same. So for this condition, okay, we can say that they will get the constant returns to scale. Constant returns to scale. Okay, constant returns to scale. Okay. So it means that in the graph, the long run average cost will be horizontal. Horizontal, like this. Okay. So yeah. There will be a reduction of the cost per unit. Okay, reduction in marginal cost. Reduction in marginal cost because it is long run. For economies of scale, in marginal cost. When we talk about marginal scale, which is reduced and economies of scale is achieved, then it means it is long run. It is less than 1 minute, so let me stop share and let me ask whether you would like to have the PowerPoint. If yes, I will